As it relates to barbell squats, there are three primary variables that can be used to improve the leverage of the muscles responsible for producing force to perform the direction of effort, to extend the time under optimal tension without needing to reduce the amount of weight you're using. They are bar position, stance width, and heel angle. Now, as it relates to bar position, when the bar's on the front side of the body, it's not as easy to achieve the same level of depth as when the bar's on the back side of the body. This has to do with the relationship between center of gravity and base of support. It's harder to keep the center of gravity above the base of support when the bar's on the front side of the body. To achieve the same amount of depth, you have to compromise the biomechanics of the lift and essentially limit the contribution from the muscles on the back side of the body. This is why it's easier to use more weight when back squatting as opposed to front squatting. As it relates to stance width, once again, you have to understand the relationship between center of gravity and base of support. The more narrow your stance is, the more narrow the base of support is. The harder it is to keep the center of gravity above the base of support. And stability is a prerequisite to force production. The wider your feet are apart, the easier it is to keep the center of gravity above the base of support. You can remain more stable and you can produce more force. Also worth noting is that the more narrow the stance is, the greater range of motion you can go through, which means more work needs to be done to overcome the resistance throughout a full range of motion. As it relates to heel angle, when you elevate the heels, you offset the center of gravity, which facilitates greater depth to be achieved, but it comes at a cost. You essentially are limiting the contribution on the muscles of the backside of the body, which is why it's easier to use more weight when your feet are flat as opposed to when the heels are elevated. If you wanted to perform a mechanical drop set when doing a variation of barbell squats, you can modify one or all of the variables I just discussed to extend the time under optimal tension without having to reduce the amount of weight you're using. If you like the information, share it, click the fucking button at the bottom of the screen you're looking at, subscribe to the channel, support this motherfucker right here, and this motherfucker right here is gonna keep on bringing it.